Hello and welcome to another year of Cigar Box guitar lessons. Hope you're all doing okay out there. And just to start off the new year, first lesson in the year, thought we'd do something a bit different. So we are in a different tuning. Now this is actually quite easy. It's the same what you call relative tuning to what we're normally in, which is D, G, D. So this is still a power chord, but it's now much lower. It's D, A, D. And what it means is you can play all of the same scales, chords, songs, riffs that you've already learned. It just has a different sound. What's the point in that, here you're asking? Well, a couple of things. Thing one, you do get quite a different tone. It's a much sort of richer sound. It's quite a lot deeper. So particularly with distortion, which is why we had that distorted intro, you get a very rich sound because the lower the pitch of notes, the kind of sort of richer it sounds with distortion. If you distort notes that are really, really high, it can sound quite sort of sharp. So that's nice. But also it means that you can play some songs in their original keys. So say if you learn a song on 3 strings and you want to play it along with the original recording, for some songs you do need to change tuning because G, D, G isn't necessarily, like a 3-string cigar box isn't necessarily the most sort of versatile instrument compared to a normal 6-string guitar. So for example, anyone remembers that 90s classic there. So that was the original key. That's in the key of D, for example, Rage Against the Machine. So that's why we're going to be looking at this. And also in a couple of later videos which are coming this way soon, we're going to be going for EBE as well, which is the equivalent of 2 frets higher. And again, that's very related to like normal guitar. So it's really good for some songs, you know. So we're going to be looking at Bowie and Stone's songs amongst others where we can play those in EBE. But let's stick with this lesson for now and we will tune up. So we've got way down there, low D, and then there's A in the middle, and there's high D. So in this lesson we're just going to be looking at doing a basic 12-bar blues in D. We've not done one of those for a while. If you're interested, you can download the score for this one. It's available on the website. Very reasonably priced. Much appreciated if you consider downloading it. It helps support the channel and also it will help you to learn to play this particular song fantastically well. But without further ado, let's continue with the lesson. Alright, so this is just a pretty standard 12-bar blues. It's got a nice sort of shuffle to it, which means it's swung. So instead of 1 and 2 and 3 and, it's 1, 2, 3, 4. It's got that sort of feel. So there's quite a few lessons on swung rhythms, and there's also, you know, some lessons on basic like slide technique and even just sort of basic, you know, fingerstyle and stuff. So if there's anything where you feel this is a little bit over your head, please check out some of these links and hopefully they will help. But we are just starting with an intro. So we've just got a turnaround right at the beginning. This is actually starting from fret 5, and it's on the middle string and it's going all the way down. Frets 3, 2, 1. Okay, now because it's a swung rhythm, because it's a shuffle, we can play triplets, which means 3 notes per beat. So we can go 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 3, 1, 2, 3. Okay, so what I'm doing here is, first of all, now you can completely play this with a slide. If you've not got frets, you can fret this with a slide, but I'm using my finger for the intro, so I'm curling it round and making sure I'm not catching the string underneath, and then it's the same all the way down because I always want to hear this open high G. So it's thumb, middle, index, thumb, middle, index, and that's middle on string 1, index on string 2. Just the same all the way down. And that's up to a high fret 7 D chord. So we've got, do that from a different angle. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Short little 2-bar intro that. Straight into the 12 bar. So if you remember, 12 bar has 4 bars of the first chord. So we're going to be doing most of our riff playing over this. That's a D. Then goes to fret 5 for 2 bars, and that's now a G. And then we're going back to D, the riff on the open strings for 2 bars. And so that's giving us 8 bars in total, and then after that we go up to fret 7, the D, which we just visited there, and then down, so that's that's now an A, and then we go down to G, which is fret 5 again, and then turn around. Okay, so what the riffs we're playing? Well, as with most of our blues, we're keeping the thumb thumping away on the beat. Okay, so we've got thumb, open, a pull together with the thumb and the finger. I'm doing a little slide into fret 3 and then playing with the finger afterwards. So it's thumb, open, so thumb, open, slide in together with the thumb, open in between. I'm gonna do the same thing on the middle string. I'm gonna slide into fret 3, doing a pull together with the thumb. Now we've done a few videos on this where you're sort of changing the angle, because we don't necessarily want to, well, we don't want to cover more than one string here. So without catching anything, you don't want to be angled too much, but, and then other way, so that we're not catching string 1 underneath. So I'm just focused on the middle string, not catching string 1. So we've got thumb together, open together on the middle string, and then we've got slide up and down. So that is into, I'm starting from 2, you can't really hear it, but I'm starting from 2, I'm going up to 4. You can hear it when I go back down to 2 though, and I'm just going to lift off, and you get a pull off at the end. So just talking about triplets before on the turnaround, that's a triplet. 1, 2, 3. And then from there we're going right up to fret 12, and we can cover 2 strings there. So we've got the triplet, so the thumb's keeping going on the beat, so it's 1, 2, 3, 4. So both of those fret 12 picks are in between the beat there. So I'll just do that from a different angle. So here's just the second bar again. Okay, so let's do both bars. Start the 12 bar. Let's do that again. So we're going to do the third bar Right, this is now line 3 of the score, but it's the third bar of the 12 bar, because remember we've got 2 bars introduction, which is the same as the beginning of the 12 bar. Okay, but we're not going to go up here again, because what we're going to do is we're going to step up to G, to fret 5. And so here again, slide angle, because we only want to pick out that bass until we get to fret 5. So it's open to start with, then it's fret 2, fret 3, fret 4, and then we go for a full covering all 3 strings with the slide when we get to fret 5, because that's changing chord, that's going to the G chord. Alright, so let's just do that from a different angle, and here is like line 3, which is bars 3 and 4 of the 12 bar. 1, 2, 3, 4, and that's just going into the next line there. Okay, so just before we play on the G, I'm just going to play the first 4 bars of the 12 bar. So 3, 4. One, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so definitely practice that. When we get to the G, I think we've done things quite similar to this before. We're just going to be alternating, so it's 1, 2, and then little slide down, another triplet. 1, 2, 3. So 3 notes in a beat there. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and so that's thumb, middle, thumb, index together on these strings, the 2 D strings, D strings again. So there's quite a lot of playing just on these 2. 1, 2. So, but we are hitting the middle string with the index. Basically the same thing again. Alright, let's just do that from a different angle. 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now the next 2 bars, the next line, is the same as the first one. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so probably practice this like two lines at a time. So go from the G and back to the main riff, back on D. But then final 2 lines, we're up to fret 7 now, so that's an A in this tuning. Very, very similar to what we did on the G, just there. 1, 2. So that's the same triplet rhythm, so it's 1, 2, slide down and pull off. But this time we'll just play fret 9 briefly. We'll just hang there for 1 beat. So that's thumb, middle, thumb, index, triplet, fret 9, straight down to fret 5 for G. 1, 2. So that's exactly the same as bar number, what are we on? Bar number 7 of the whole score, or like line 3 of the 12 bar. So going from A, that G was rather. So it's 1, 2, pull off. 1, 2, and then turn around exactly the same as the beginning. Okay, and when we go up to the A on fret 7, it's thumb, middle thumb, index thumb. So that is the final 2 lines of the 12 bar. So let's go for fret 7A. 1, 2, pull off. 1, 2, pull off. 1, 2, turn around. 3, 4. Okay, so that's the final 2 lines of the first 12 bar cycle. Practice, like I said, practice all of those in like 4 bar chunks, even like 1 line, even like 2 bar chunks. You know, make it as simple as possible. Repeat things as much as you can. Don't sort of just dive in and play straight through unless it's all quite easy. You know, you have to repeat stuff a lot before it becomes familiar. But here is, including the intro, the first 12 bar. So starting with the intro, so 3, 4. 2, 3, 4, 1. Step up to G. Here's G. Same as the beginning of the 12 bar. A. So that's the end of the first 12 bar. I would definitely make sure you can play all of that before tackling the second half. So, you know, it doesn't have to be a particularly fast tempo, but just make sure you can actually play it like with a correct rhythm, with like a steady pulse, you know, so it's not fragmented. It's you can sort of tap your foot through it, you know, ideally like play along with a beat or somebody else, or metronome, anything like that, and dead slow, you know, so go along with that, play along a few times just to make sure that's okay. But let's move on to the second page, or the second half. Right, so on to the second 12 bar. It's similar to the first one, but just slightly different riffs, mainly over the low D chord, just to give it a bit of variation. So straight away, the first bar of the second 12 bar, the first bar of page 2, the score is different. So we're straight up on fret 12 here. We've got so the first bar is different, the second bar is the same as what you've just learnt at the beginning of the first 12 bar. So right at the beginning we're sliding in, so we've got thumb, index finger on the middle string, a pull, so thumb and middle finger slide into 12 and let that ring out, drop down to 10, another pull, but this time with 2 fingers and a thumb plucking everything, and then slide up, but we want to make it punchy, so I'll re-pick when I get to fret 12, and then thumb, open. So all of that is thumb, open, index, together, all of the strings, slide up, re-pick, thumb, open, because I'm going to move down. Timing wise, 1 and 2, 3 and 4 and. Now you should know the next bar because it's the same as what we did in bar 2 of the first 12 bar sequence. Okay, so you should know that. that from one more angle. So 3, 4. Bit slower. 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 1, 2, and 3, and 4. Now the next line is the same rhythm but different notes, just again a bit more variation. So we've got 7, 4, open. But let's slide down, so we're not going to release contact with the string. Now you can do two things. You can either, if you're not completely comfortable with slide playing, just do a slide down and re-pick. Try and time it so you re-pick exactly as you arrive on fret 4. Like that. Don't go and re-pick, because then you hear the fret 4 note twice effectively. So it's pick, pick. Alright? Or you can make it sound even more bluesy by sliding past fret 4 and coming back up. So without losing contact at all with string 1. So I'm actually basically sliding down to fret 3 and re-picking and quickly, that's what you call a grace note, kind of slide into fret 4. So it's pick, pick, and then lift it off. Timing wise, the 7, but both of the fretted notes are again pulls with the thumb. They're both what you call on the beat. So it's 1, 2, oh, you can slide into 7 as well, so it's 1, 2, 3, and 4, and. So thumb on its own, open string 1, slide in with your thumb, slide in again, but then finger and then thumb. 1, 2, 3, and 4, and. Next bar, similar, pulls, with the fretted notes, the slide. So it's into 3 on the middle string, so again that slide angle. In between, string 1, open. But then this is the first slide note, which is actually in between, it's not with the thumb. So it's, sorry, I'll do that again. So it's 1 and 2 in between, and then just finish the bar off with a couple of bass notes. Now when you lift off the middle string, particularly if you're playing with distortion like I was for the intro, you do want to time. You do want to time it as you lift off. You want to try and you can hear 2 notes there. If you lose contact, if you lift off at exactly the same time as you pick the next string, it just sounds cleaner. So off. Okay, so all of that line is, so slide in. So let's try that one more time. So 3, 4. A bit slower. So all of the first 4 bars over the D riff, so it's 3, 4. Next line. goes to G, fret 5 again. So first bar, we know this. So that's exactly the same as the first time we hit the G in the first 12 bar, so I won't cover that. But the second one goes up to 7, second bar of G that is, goes up to 7 and then goes down to 3. So it goes 1, 2, 3, 4, and got a nice sort of bluesy twang to it there. 1, 2. So that picking in the first half of the bar is still the same. So it's thumb, middle, thumb, index, but then beat 3 we can slide up. I'm just playing the two D strings, and then I'm dropping down again, probably without losing contact with the string. So you can hear a big slide down, and if you want you can kind of slide to fret 2 and then go into 3. So 1, 2, 3, and then we're back to so that was bars 5 and 6. We're back to 7 and 8, which is the same as bars 1 and 2. So, alright, so this is from the first time we hit the G. So 3, 4. Bit slower. And then finally we're going to fret 7 A. This is different slightly, so same kind of trick. We're going to sort of step down in the second half of the bar. So the second half of the bars of G and A are a little bit different to what you've learnt in the first 12 bar cycle. So same picking, so thumb, middle, thumb, index, just play strings, the two D strings, 9, 7, 5. Now I'm going to go thumb and finger on 9 together, pull, same on fret 7, thumb and finger, pull. But then when I get down to fret 5 it's actually on the offbeat, so I'm going to pick just with my middle finger and then thumb straight afterwards, and that comes in onto beat 1 of the next bar where we're over the G chord. So that would sound like this: 1, 2, 3, 4 and 1. We'll continue with that, but I'll just go a little bit more slowly. Again, you know, you can always like slide into any of your notes and all the rest of it chords. So 1, 2, 3, 4 and 1. When I'm here, we're going to use exactly the same pattern. So that was beat 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, and so it's exactly the same pattern as from the first 12 bars, so that should be okay, hopefully. So all of that line from fret 7, the A, is 1, 2, 3, 4 and 1, 2, triplet, just finish like that. So instead of doing a descending turnaround, we've done this in a few things before, you can do an ascending. So I'm going to use my slide, because when I arrive at fret 7 for the A chord, I want to just cover all of the notes, go for a full chord, and then go up to 12. So I'm going to angle this so I'm not catching string, the middle A string in between. So it's 4, 5, 6, full chord there, all of the strings, and then thumb, finger. So pluck together like a pull with 2 fingers and a thumb, and then thumb, and then re-pluck with your fingers when you hit fret 12. 1, 2, triplet. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so let's just do those final 4 bars from the first time we hit the A. Okay, so 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, and triplet. Ascending, turn around. All right. Let's try all of that second 12 bar. So 2, 3, 4. Into G. Fret 12. A. Turn around. And there's the ending. So that's it for this lesson. I hope you've enjoyed learning this blues shuffle in D. And like I was saying, if you're interested, you can go to the website and download the score for this, and it really helps support the channel. Also help with your ability to learn this fantastically well, and be able to play it to a good standard. So that's it. Next one, like I was saying, we're going to be having a look at Like a Rolling Stone. We're going to be doing some chords, and we're going to be looking at changing the key so that we can play in 2 different tunings, and that can be useful if people maybe singing and they want to change the pitch of something just so it suits their vocal range, that type of thing. But for now, we'll look forward to seeing you here again very soon on Coda Guitar.